All right, we're going to tie a fly today called Chris's Twisted Stonefly. This is a stonefly pattern I've been tying and fishing this season. It's been real productive for me. And what we've done is we've gone ahead and prepped this hook with one of Flymen Fishing Company's new Nymph Head Evolution beads. These are a great new product that has really made me curious to tie with them, and I've really enjoyed the results. This is the Stonefly version. They're tungsten bead heads, and they're actually shaped in the shape of a stonefly head. Add some great realism to your fly, as well as some great functional tungsten weight to it as well. This is the brown color, and this is a size medium. The size hook that we're using right now is a size 10. And we've gone ahead and used some lead and wrapped about 8 to 10 wraps and just shoved them into the bead to kind of help set that bead. I usually do these quite a few at a time and then let them dry, do a little dab of glue in there, and let them dry so that I'm ready to tie when I'm ready to go. I don't have to wait near as long. What we're going to do, the only other prep that we're going to do this fly is that we're going to take some, this is a .02 lead, and we're going to flatten out this body and help make that stonefly profile. We're going to take some touching wraps down on the side of this hook, down to right about above the point. We'll tear that lead off. And then we're going to bring our thread back up to the top and do it on the far side here as well. This is going to help add some weight. I want this to be kind of my point fly. Help add some weight to my nymph rig. So I tie them pretty heavy. You can obviously do this with monofilament line or some hard mono down the side if you don't want the extra added weight to the profile of this bug. And then we're just going to kind of cover this with some thread wraps. Go ahead and take a set of flat pliers, and I'm just going to make sure that lead is nice and flat on the shank, as well as do the same to the wraps that we did up at the front. So now you can see that we have this nice flat profile on our stonefly. I'm going to go back to the back of this fly. I'm going to make a little butt. It's going to help split our tails, which are going to be turkey buyouts. So this is a Hairline Custom Dub brown stone. And we're just going to take a little bit of this and just make a little ball at the back side of this stonefly. There we go. We'll take some brown turkey buyouts. You can substitute goose buyouts for this as well. I'm going to pair those up so that they're curved like this, that they're curving out. They do have a natural curve to them. We're going to have the back sides of those feathers, the shining side of that buyout, touching each other. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and put that on either side of that dubbing ball. And that's going to help split those tails and keep them split in the water. Go ahead and clip off those ends. Make sure you got some nice tight wraps, otherwise those can pull out. I'm going to take this back up to the front. We're going to tie in our body material, which is going to be, if you watched our caddis video, it's going to be the same material, which is an antron. This is a kind of a ginger tan brown. Obviously, you can cater this to whatever color the stoneflies are in your waters. We're going to tie that in on the bottom side of this hook and then wrap that down, keeping it on the bottom side. And we want that last wrap to be right up against the butt of those biots. And we're just going to lash that down a little bit. Okay. Easier way to do this is, much like we did with the caddis video, is to take some English hackle pliers and just clip that down towards the bottom of this piece of antron. And then with your fingers, we're just going to roll this and work our way down. And that hackle plier is going to start to spin and turn with the twist of this antron. And you know you've got enough when, if you take the tension off, it's going to curl just a little bit. That's kind of where we're looking for as far as tension. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to wrap this antron up the body of this stonefly. You'll notice that that flat profile really gets accentuated with the use of this body material. And we're going to stop right in that gap of where those lead wraps from the head stopped. And we'll go ahead and tie that off. One thing I'll do to this bug, it's an optional thing, is that you'll take a dark brown Prismacolor marker, and I'm just going to model the top of this antron to mimic the darker back of the stoneflies in our water. I'm going to darken it up on the top, and it's going to be that lighter ginger tan on the bottom. Okay. So we'll start the front of this fly. And the first thing that we're going to do is tie in. This is an 1/8 inch piece of tan scud back. We're just going to tie that in on the top of the hook, making sure that we keep that nice and flat. And we'll do one wrap into that antron, just so that we don't have a gap there at the back when we fold that back over. And you can kind of bring that forward and check your measurements to see if you're far enough back or not. We're going to put a little flash underneath this, and this is going to be lateral scale. This is a opal pearl. You can use some Mirage tinsel as well. I just like the added crinkle of this lateral scale underneath here. And we're going to take that back so that we've got that right on top of each other. The front section of this is going to be that custom blend brown stone that we had from Hairline that we did the butt of this fly. And we're just going to dub a real tight noodle to tie in the base for this. And then I'll come back and do another layer here. I'll go about halfway up. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie in our legs. I like to have a lot of movement in the water, so we're going to use some grizzly flutter legs from Hairline. What we're going to do is we're going to measure one body length worth of legs and cut 2 sets. And take those 2 grizzly flutter legs. This is the root beer color. And we're going to do a soft wrap and then one tighter wrap. And kind of massage those into place a little bit. And we'll do the same thing with this. Cut our second set here. Do one loose wrap, and then one tight wrap, and then kind of work them into place. We'll take a little more of that custom brown dub that we had, cover up those thread wraps that we just made. It also helps to separate these legs a little bit. We'll pull those legs backwards, and we'll finish dubbing the front part of this body. We'll stop right behind that evolution head. Take that lateral scale, pull that up, and we'll take one loose wrap, one tighter wrap, and then fold it back on top of itself and put another wrap on, a couple wraps on top of that. Snip that off and do the same thing with our scud back. This is going to protect that flash, make sure it doesn't catch a couple teeth and break. Also gives a nice look for the back of this stonefly. Kind of work those legs, make sure they're all even. And then we'll go ahead and whip finish. And the last thing I do for this fly is a little top of clear cure goo. And this is the tack-free flex. We'll just take our bodkin and scrape a little off that brush down there at the bottom. And then we're going to just apply this on top. The thing I like about this clear cure is you can continue to manipulate it and it won't become hard until you hit it with the light. We're going to make it just go a little bit on top of that antron. And make sure that we're covering all of that scud back. And just a little bit on top of that head. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit that with the light right here at first. And then we'll do the last layer of clear cure goo hydro on top of that. And you got a little bubble there on the head. We'll just smooth that out. And we'll hit that with the torch one more time. That's Chris's Twisted Stonefly. It's been a real productive pattern. A lot of movement in the water with these legs, and a nice realistic look with that Flymen Nymph Evolution head, the Stonefly version. You can find this fly for sale on RockyMountainFlyDesign.com or tie up your own. Thank you.